Welcome to part 2 of Organizing Data. This is grade 10 math literacy. This is Mrs. Venti speaking. We're using the Mind Action series. We're doing exercise 6.4, which starts on page 240. In this video, we're going to complete question 3 and question 4. Question 3 is as follows. It says a local school is organizing a fun run. In order to plan better for the fun run, for next year, they need to analyze the number of people in different age groups that had participated in this year. Consider the following frequency table and answer the questions that follow. So they've got age groups in groups of 5 years: 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30. Again, this is not discrete data, but it is continuous data. On the right hand side, we've got the frequency. So we've got 67, 119, 98, 47, etc. The first question is asking you how many people took part of the school's fun run. In order to answer this question, we are going to add up all of these numbers, and you can use a calculator for that. So the amount that I get from my calculator is 616 people participated. Question 2 says, how many people took part that were 25 years or under? So under means younger than 25 years old. I am going to find the line that separates us. That's going to be this one. And I am going to add those three numbers, which is 25 and under. So it's 67 plus 119 plus 98. That gives me a total of 284 people were 25 and younger. The question is asking you in 3, is it possible to determine how many people were 18 years old? Now, we have got a frequency over here that says we are looking at 16 to 20-year-olds, meaning that this group of people are age 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Is it possible for you to figure out how many of them are just 18? The answer is no. No, it is not possible because we are grouping the ages in groups of 5. This means that of the 119, all of them could be 18 years old. None of them could be 18 years old. Half of them could be 18 years old. It is impossible to tell, based on the data given to us, how many are 18 years old. Okay, next question. Do you think that it is a primary school or a high school having this fun run? So what do we know when we're thinking about a primary school? If we are comparing primary versus high school, what is the information that we know is different? We know that in a primary school, you have grades maybe from 0 or 1, grade 0 to grade 7. In a high school, we have grade 8 to grade 12. Okay? When I look at my data doesn't have grades, but it has ages. So let's look at the ages. If you start in grade 0, let's assume you are 6 years old, right? So 6 for grade 0, or maybe even 5. So it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The greatest age that you'll be is 11 in primary school. For grade 12, you could start at age 11, or let's assume age 12. So it'll be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So for grade 8, we know that you could be between the ages of 12 and the age of possibly even 18. So when we look at the ages of the question, the youngest age that they give us is 17. So between the ages of 17 and upwards, let's say 20, which of the two categories has got 17? It would be this one, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. So My answer to that question would be, I think that this is a high school because of the ages of the students. And that makes perfect sense. So my answer was, it's a high school because the youngest age is 11 to 15 years old. And obviously, if it was a primary school, I would expect the youngest age to be about 6, 7 years old. If you were a DJ at the fun run, which age groups would you cater for and justify your answer? So let's go back here, and we now determine which age groups has got the highest number of participants. So what I've done here is I've grouped the ages together to be those who are in their teens from 10 to 20, and then those in their 20s, those in their 30s, those in their 40s. And what I notice is that the biggest age group is those who are in their teens, from 11 to 20 years old. So since they are the majority, I would probably cater my music towards those who are in the majority, those who are the most people in the age group. Looking at this, I would probably not cater to the music of those who are 40 to 50 years old because they are the least. But the discrepancy between the number of people is not that big. So to answer question 3.5, if I was a DJ, I would cater to the youngest age group, which is age 11 to 20, because they are the most present. So that's question 3. Question 4 shows us a table with the number of children in each family at a school. This table is telling me that there are 98 families that have only one child. There are 587 families that have 2 children. There are 130 families that have 3 children. 60 families have 4 children. 12 families have 5 children, and 2 families have got 6 children attending the same school at the same time. Question number 1 says, how many families have 4 children in the school? I answer this by going to number of children, 4, and the number of them are 60. There are 60 families that have got 4 children in the school. Question number 2 says, how many children have 3 or more? So I'm going to start at 3 and go more. So 3 or more means that 130 plus the rest. So I'm going to say 130 plus 60 plus 12 plus 2. And I add them all up. That gives me 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 0 carry 1 and 2. My answer is going to be 204 families have got 3 or more children. The next question says, how many families are there in total? In order to add that up, I need to add all the families together. Now, I already added this up, right? I know that this section is 204. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 98 for one child, 587 for 2 children, and 204 for 3 and more. And I add them up. So 8 and 4 gives me 12. 12 and 7 give me 19. 9 carry 1. 9 and 1 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. Carry 1. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 889 families at the school. The next question is asking me, how many children are there in total at the school? All right, so this is a slightly more complicated question. So the way I'd answer this is, I would write out each relationship, right? So it's 1 child times 98, 2 times 587, 3 times 130, 4 times 60, 5 times 12, and 6 times 2. And once I've calculated that, I will add all of the numbers together. My total answer is going to be a total of 1,974 children attend the school. Next question is asking me, if you have one child, you pay 15,000 Rand per year. If you have two children, you pay 13,750 per child per year. If you have more than two children, you are going to pay 11,450 per child per year. So how much will the school's income be based on the number of children? We have got three categories. We've got one child, which is going to be 15,000. We have got two children, which is going to be 13,750 each for each child. And our third category is going to be 3 plus children, and our total there is going to be 11,450 each. So in order for us to calculate this, we need to know how many children fall in each category. Going back to our table, we know that we've got 98 children. So under one child, we've got 98. So this is going to be 15,000 multiplied by 98 children, and that's going to give us that total. On our two children, we have got 587. So this means that we have got 587 families, and each family has got two children. So we have to multiply all three of those together. And then the last option is going to tell us that we have got, do you remember when we answered this question here of 3 and more children? So 3 and more children is 204, and that's the amount we are going to use. So we are going to say 204 families, and they have got 3 or more children. Oh, this now becomes tricky, right? Because some of them have 3, some of them have 4, some of them have 5 children, some have 6. So instead of doing the 204, we have to separate them. We are going to have to do them one by one. So with our 3 or more children, this section here is the same as this blue section over here, but only below the 2, right? So what we do is we figure out how many individual children we got. We got 702 individual children. And that amount we are going to multiply by 11,450 to give us a total of 8,037,900 Rand. That is for the 3 or more children. Now, for the 2 or more children, we are going to say 587 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 13,750. So that gives us a total of 16,142,500 Rand for 2 children or more. And then lastly, we have got the one child families, and they pay 15,000 Rand, and there's 98 of them. So from that family, we get a total of, those families, we get a total of 1,470,000 Rand. So in total, how much money do all the families bring in? We add them up, so that's 0, 0. 5 and 9 gives me 14, where I carry 1. 7 and 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10, so that's 0, carry 1. 7 and 3 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 1 is 15, carry the 1. 4, 5, 6, don't carry anything. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 1 is 15, So 5 carry 1 and 2. The total amount of money that they make is 25,650,400 rand in 1 year, based on the number of students that they have in the class. So I hope that this made sense. For this question, you had to make sure that you had the number of families and 2 children in every family. For this question, you had to have the 3 children at 130 families, 4 children at 60 families, 5 children at 12 families, and 6 children at 2 families. So basically, you need to have the amount multiplied by the number of families multiplied by the number of children. And all 3 of these numbers, the amount, the families, and the children, is different for each question. It's different for the green one, it's different for the yellow one, and it's different for the pink one. So that is the end of question 3 and 4. I hope it made sense. Again, text me with your questions, reach out so that I can explain. I hope that this made sense to you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.